Hi, welcome everyone to this session on React hooks. In this particular section, we are going to talk about how to create small components using React hooks. So what we have as a prerequisite is already have an application up and running. So that application has been created using create React app. We have the default application up and running for React. And I have this particular application which is represented with this folder structure. So whenever you are creating a new application using create react app, this is a sort of folder structure that is created in order to render this small sample application. So what we'll do next is we'll go to these folders, public and source, and we'll delete all the files which are present inside these folders. So once I have deleted all the files that are there inside these folders, let's get back to my application and see what we have on localhost 3000. Over here, we encountered an error saying that there is no file called index.js which is present inside a source folder. So let's go back to the application and add a file over here with index.js. Once we have added this particular file, let's get back to the browser and see what next error are we encountering. So over here we are getting an error which says there is no file called index.html inside public folder. So let's go to the file and let's add this file in public folder. So index.html. So this index.html is currently blank. Let's add some HTML code into it. So doc type HTML is used to represent that we are working with HTML5. Then we'll add a HTML tag. Inside this HTML tag, we'll add a head containing a title tag, sample application. After head, we'll be adding a body tag, and this body tag contains nothing but a simple div with ID having root. So let's save this file, get back to our browser, and still we have a empty browser getting displayed. So we don't have any content. Let's go to the inspect window. Over here, I can see my application is getting rendered. If I look for the HTML that has been rendered, I have a body tag. The body tag contains a div which is having an ID of root. Till now, we have added a very simple HTML file. We haven't added anything inside the JS. So let's add some code for this JS file. So I'll import the React object from the file called React. And we need to import another object called React DOM from the file called react-dom. So I want my DOM to interact with the React library. So we have this object React DOM, which enables us to interact, to provide the interaction between the DOM elements as well as the React library. So using this React DOM, I'll be rendering my first component. So I'll use the function React DOM.render, and I have to specify what I need to render. So I need to render an h1 tag containing hello world. So this particular template has to be rendered, and we have to specify as the second parameter that where this particular stuff has to render. So I'll say it has to get an element by ID root, and this root element will contain this particular template which says hello world. So inside the document we are getting the element by ID root, and we are displaying h1 tag containing hello world. Now let's save this file and get back to the browser. So once we get back to the browser, we can see hello world getting rendered. So if you inspect this particular page, you'll see that we have a div which is having an ID of root, and inside that particular div we are rendering a h1 tag. So this h1 tags come from the code that we have written over here which says react dom.render. So now I want to replace this simple h1 component displaying hello world with some complex component. So let's create a component in React using functions. So I'll use a simple function in JavaScript in order to create a React component. So I'll say function app component, and I'll put return Over here in the return, I'll just put the template which I want to render. So I want to have, let's remove h1 first. Let's have a div tag. Over here inside the div tag, let's add an h1 tag which should say hello world. So now this particular function represents a React component with the name app component. Now you want to render this particular component on the browser. First, let's go to the browser and see what error are we getting over there. The error that we are getting over here is that react.render is expecting some parameter which is missing. What is the parameter which is missing? It states which component has to render. That particular part is missing. So let's go back. I'll use this app component just like what we use for any other HTML tag. I'll just put it like this and close these arrows. So now what you are telling to your React library is go get this element by ID which is called root, and then over there render a component which is app component. This app component internally renders some template which is having a div and a h1 tag containing hello world. Let's save this file and get back to the browser. Let's close this and re-render. So over here we have something which is rendered which is hello world. So this text is getting rendered. Let's go to the application and update this text. I'll update this text with my name. So I'll just save this file. We'll get back to the browser and we'll see that the text is now getting updated, which means now the React is rendering some components in a div with the ID root. Again, now we have replaced that single h1 with a much complex component like structure. So now let's add certain functionality into this component. Since it's JavaScript, I can create certain variables. I'll create a variable called name having a value of Mayank Gupta over here. And inside this template, I want this salutation. So let's say I don't want this particular value. I want to display anything which is there inside this variable name to be displayed with this hello salutation. So let's change the name for now to Anshul Gupta. And I want to display this name over here in this particular template. So in order to display the name over here in this template, I'll just put everything inside a curly braces and I'll say name. So inside this curly braces, I'll put name. So as soon as you put a name variable inside this curly braces, what happens in the background is that React will get the value of this variable and substitute this value over here with the salutation. Let's save this and get back to the browser. So now you can see we are rendering hello Anshul Gupta. Now for certain reason I want to introduce a button. So I'll put a button over here by saying input type equal to button, and then on the click of this button I want certain functionality. What is that functionality? I want to update the name from Anshul to Mayank Gupta. So I'll say on the click, call a function which is named as update name. So this is a function which I want to call on the click of this particular button, and I'll name this button with click to update name. So this is the text that will be displayed over this button. So if you see for this particular window right now, it says update name is not defined. So we are getting some compilation error which says update name not defined. So let's quickly add a function called update name in this component function update name, and let's not put anything into it. Let's save this, get back to the browser to see the output. Now I'm having my template containing hello Anshul Gupta and a button which ideally does nothing at this moment of time. So the next thing that I want to do in my functionality is I was displaying this name over here. So this name is currently Anshul Gupta. Whenever the user is clicking this particular button, I want this name to be updated to Mayank Gupta. Okay, so on the click of the button, this variable value name has been updated to Mayank Gupta. So what I ideally expect is that this name Anshul Gupta should be replaced with the name Mayank. Let's save this and get back to the application. So over here we have hello Anshul Gupta. Let's refresh this browser. On the click of this button, I'm expecting this value to update to Mayank Gupta. Let's click this button and nothing is happening for now. Let me open up this particular application in console, and let's do one thing. We want to ensure whether this function is getting called or not, so we'll introduce a debugger. So as soon as we'll click this particular button, that debugger should be invoked. So now let's click this button, and what we see over here is that name variable is Anshul Gupta. So let's see what is the value of name. We'll go to the watch and we'll put this variable name over there. Right now, the name value is Anshul Gupta. In the next line, I expect this value to be updated to Mayank. But as soon as the value is getting updated, I also expected my template to change and display hello Mayank Gupta, which is not the case. So we'll see that even though the variable name updated, but then also we are not having the updated value of name over here in the salutation. This simply states that whenever we are creating certain template and the data which belongs to that particular template, if that particular data updates, the component, a simple component is never updated. So we do not have any update in this particular simple template which has been rendered. So for that reason, for the reason of introducing some dynamic behavior into this component, I'll introduce something called state variables. So we'll use a hook called use state, and we'll see the impact of use state in our program. So what we'll do over here is, apart from the React, I want to have another object which is called use state. So this use state is also a part of the React library. So now I want to introduce a state to my component. What do we mean by a state? A state is a variable which introduces certain value, and whenever that value updates, I expect this component to re-render. So initially we were creating this variable name with some value Anshul Gupta. Now we'll try to create this variable using use state. So I'll use a function use state. This use state function expects a default value. So this Anshul Gupta is provided to this use state by default. So I'll remove this var name from here. So whenever you are using this use state, it gives us a output. This output is an array of values. The values that we get inside the output are a getter and a setter. So I have this name and set name. So let me tell you the impact of using use state over here. What's happening in the background is whenever you are calling use state, it returns us an array of values. The first value which is there in the array is the getter for this value Anshul Gupta. So we are creating a variable. This is the getter for that variable. And at any moment of time, if you want to update this value, this is the setter. So this is a value and this is a function which can help us to reset the value of the state variable name. So now what I will do is I'll get back to the application and we'll see the impact. First of all, we are getting an error which says set name is assigned a value but never used. So let's remove. I just want to get the first value out of this use state. And over here, I'm putting this inside a square bracket, which means I'm looking for array destructuring. This use state is returning me an array of getter and setter. So I want to extract the first value, which is the getter. So I'm using only one input parameter name inside these square brackets to extract that getter. So now let's run this application. Again over here I can see the same output is getting rendered. I have hello Anshul Gupta. So let's update this value to Meha. When we get back to the application, we can say an updated name is being rendered, but now we are using use state. Use state was giving me a getter and a setter. Using the getter, I extracted the value and placed that value over here in the salutation. Next, I want to work with this update name functionality. And what I need to do is over here, whenever the user is pressing a button, I want to set up the new value. So initially we were getting getter and setter. I removed setter because we were not using it. Now that we have to set the value as well, I'll put set name. So this is a function which enables me to set the name, and using this function I can reset the name of this particular variable. So I can reset the value of this particular variable name to, let's say, Mayank Gupta. So now let's look for this code again. We have a h1 tag containing hello and the salutation name. This name is ideally created using use state. This use state gives as a output a getter and a setter. Whatever value you are providing over here as a default value, it goes to the getter, and then it gives you a functionality which is set name, ideally a function which enables you to set the new value for this name variable. Now on the click of the button, I'm setting up this value to Mayank Gupta. Let's see what happens in this case. Let's go back to the browser. The initial value that was getting rendered is hello Meha Gupta. As soon as I click the value, it updates to Mayank Gupta. Now what we can see is the dynamic behavior. Earlier when you were setting the value using equal to operator, it was not getting reflected, but over here using this use state, you have introduced a dynamic behavior wherein whenever you are setting up the value again, in that case you are telling your component to re-render. So the entire component re-renders with the new set of data. In this case the name has been updated to Mayank Gupta, and that particular behavior or that particular change has been reflected over here in this particular component. I can also move to the inspect window. We already, let's put a debugger. Let's save this. So initially the component is rendered. I'll press this button. It goes to update name function. It sets the name to the new value, and as soon as it sets the name, the value has been changed. So this is the advantage of using use state. We are able to create state-based component using functions instead of what we used to do, which were classes. Again, this hooks is a big domain. What we have covered over here is just an introduction of how to use the state variables. So we just created a single state variable and then tried to re-render the component every time when the value changed from one to another. So that's it into the introduction for this particular React hooks. I'll come up with more videos in the future on React hooks. Stay connected with me. Subscribe to my channel.